Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Astra, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what the movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen. And yeah, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally okay. But if you really are interested right now in my opinions and thoughts about this movie, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started, guys. Alright, so Ad Astra is a movie released in 2019. It's science fiction slash action slash psychological type of a movie. Story of this movie follows a man called Roy McBride, which is the main character in this movie, which is played by Brad Pitt. And the story goes around the man who is astronaut and soldier in the same time, and he gets the call from the people who are in higher position than him in this astronaut facility or whatever, and he gets a mission to go to Neptune and discover what happened with the crew that was sent on the mission to look for the life outside the Earth. So they sent a bunch of people into space to look for other life forms. And one of those crew members, actually the leader of that crew, was his father. And for a long time he thought that his father is dead because he never responded from that mission. They thought the mission failed and the ship got lost. They never found any evidences of the ship still being operational or whatever, so he thought that his father is dead together with the entire crew and they're all gone. But then recently these people on higher positions, they discovered these huge electrical surges that are being released from around Neptune, somewhere in that part. And those electrical surges are destroying all electronics and everything and life on the Earth. So he has to go there and stop that to basically save the life on the Earth. And in the same time, he really was connected to his father, which is the reason why he became astronaut, because of his father. And he really wants to find out what happened to his father and entire crew, and what is causing these electrical surges. And then when they tell him that actually his father might be alive and that he is the one who is causing these electrical surges, because he is the one who sabotaged the entire mission and now is causing these electrical surges to prevent communications with the crew and the ship and everything, and to mask their location. And now Roy is on the mission to go to Neptune and find the ship and his father, who is apparently alive after all these years. He does go through a bunch of things on his journey from Earth to Neptune. He has to deal with many different situations, which is the part where action comes in this movie. But he eventually reaches the Mars, and when he reaches the Mars, they tell him that he just needs to now establish the contact with his father, which was the part of the plan. So he never was meant to be sent to Neptune to actually find his father personally, but he is sent to Mars to establish the communication with his father, because they knew he's a good bait to bait his father to talk to Roy, because Roy is the only person his father would talk to. Yeah, they do that. They used Roy as the bait, and they confirmed that his father is now still alive. And Roy is now being discharged from the mission, and they are sending him back to the Earth, but he refuses to do that, and he does some illegal things and refuses to listen to commands and sneaks up on the ship that is set for Neptune. And eventually he gets to Neptune, finds the ship that is causing these electrical discharges. He finds his father. Before he actually reached the ship, one lady tells him that his father did sabotage the entire mission, but that he did something really horrible, and that is actually that he is the one who murdered the entire crew because they rebelled against him, and they realized that the mission is failed, that there is no life out there, they didn't find anything, and they wanted to go back to Earth, and Roy's father couldn't let that happen, so he just murdered the entire crew, and that's it. His father is officially a monster in the eyes of everyone. Just they were hiding that from him, and he was very devastated when he figured that out. So he tries to convince his father when he finds him to go back with him home to the Earth. He tries to bring him back, but unfortunately his father detaches the rope when they're floating in the space, and he just floats away really far into space, and I guess he dies. So he just committed suicide basically, because I guess he didn't want to get all the consequences for killing all these people and everything. And now Roy, devastated with his father's decision, he decides to continue his mission, and he decides to go out there and look for life in the space. And that's pretty much the entire story of this movie in short. And I don't know what to think about this movie, guys. In my opinion, this movie is not great, not terrible. It's somewhere in the middle. First thing, because I do expected a lot from this movie, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that this movie is gonna be something more like Interstellar. You know, we're gonna have really cool characters with really emotional stories, and the story is gonna be epic and emotional, and all that is gonna be combined with cool SF and stuff. And one way, that was correct about this movie, but again, this is a movie with Brad Pitt, and that was something that smelled to me since I saw the trailer for this movie, because I know most of Brad Pitt's movies include action. And when he travels from Earth to Neptune, and the things he encounters and the problems he has to deal with on its way from Earth to Neptune is actually where action in this movie comes in. For example, when he reaches the base that humans established on the moon, because this movie is set in the future, and when he's transported from base to the rocket on the moon that is going to take him to the Mars, he gets attacked by these pirates that are also living on the moon, which are basically probably some other people who are just stealing resources from scientists and other astronauts. And there is then some cool action. You can see these guys shooting at him, killing them, and a bunch of shit happening. So that kind of was interesting to me, but not what I expected. Then again, there is another scene when he reaches the rocket that is taking him from the moon to the Mars, and they find some SOS signal in the space, and they go and investigate it, and all astronauts get killed by these monkeys. There's some monkeys that were inside some space station that got destroyed, and these monkeys were injected with some sedative, and they got really aggressive, so they murder all the astronauts. And there was also one action scene where he has to fight against these monkeys and try to save these astronauts. There are like 2 or 3, 4 eventually action scenes in this movie, and they're very well done. I gotta say, I do enjoy them. But again, it was really surprising for me to see the action in this movie, because that's what I least expected in a movie like this. I thought it's gonna be some cool explorational, really emotional story between son and father, son looking for his father, or something like Interstellar style, like I said. But no, this movie gave me a bunch of action as well in the same time. So it's really confusing. So I don't know. I have mixed feeling and mixed opinions about this movie. It's, like I said, not great, not terrible. It's somewhere in the middle between great and terrible. I don't know what to say. The movie itself, like I said, all the CGI and everything, actors, they're not bad. The movie is filled with good actors. We have Brad Pitt in the main role, and we have Tommy Lee Johnson in the role of his father. So we have bunch of good actors in this movie that are very great. Their performance was great. I like the audio in this movie when they are fighting in the space. The audio was really realistic, so there was no sound in the space, and when there are those explosions going on in the space, you can hear only the stuff from their visor, which makes sense because there is no oxygen or anything outside there in the space, so a sound can travel, so there is no sound. And that part of the audio and audio realism is really good in this movie. But in the same time, there were some really annoying stunts in this movie. For example, in the end, he pushes off from the broken station that was doing these electrical surges. He was also ordered to plant the nuclear bomb on the station that was causing electrical surges and destroy it. And when he does that, he just pushes off the station with a like lid or like something metal part, like doors or something, and he just goes through a bunch of these asteroid tiny little rocks to his ship back, so he can get away from the explosion. And the part when he just goes through these rocks that are like smashing into him and he just doesn't slow down, so I don't know how he even survived that. And you don't have to be astronaut to like not notice that something like that is really not possible. So this movie did have some very unrealistic stunts, but the audio was very realistic. So yeah, guys, I think I said everything I wanted about this movie. My final thought again about this movie would be not great, not terrible. So yeah, I really do have mixed feelings for this movie. And I don't know, if you like Brad Pitt, if you are a fan of his movies, and if you're looking for a space movie, science fiction movie that has some action in it as well, then yeah, this would be a movie for you, for sure. For me, it was, like I said, something in the middle between good and bad. It's not either bad or good. It's nothing really special in the same time. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this movie review, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally okay. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group. Link is down below in the description. I post all kind of stuff over there. And you can also leave any questions. If you have any questions on my ads.fm, link is also down below in the description, guys. And thank you for watching, as always. I love you, and I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.